Welcome back, Stingers. Welcome back, Stingers. Today I'm going to be answering one of your astrology questions, which I thought was very good. And here we go. Let's just start. If I can get this. You guys know my vision is not the best. How scorpionic, listen to the language. How scorpionic would I be considered if I had Mars in Scorpio in the first house? And it says Scorpio rising. It's a question. So I'm going to assume now, it's so interesting that you asked this question, like, if I had, like, do you have it? You know what I mean? Like, you're asking, like, as if, like, hypothetical, which are, oh gosh, whew. I think those are triggering questions for me because it's not a real question. It's like you're making stuff up. So just say what's real. I have a Mars in Scorpio in the first house, and I also have a Scorpio rising. And I hope that is the case. So when you say how scorpionic would I be with the Mars there? Okay. So if you already have a Scorpio rising, right? Then you already project those Scorpio qualities, right? Now, I don't know what else is going on with your rising sign. I don't know what energy is coming to and from it. Maybe you have some opposition to it. Maybe you have a planet that conjuncts. Maybe you have a square. Maybe you have, like, I don't know. I have no idea what else. So there's not all the information that we have, you know, to fully get, you know, a solid answer to this question. But let's just say you just have a Scorpio rising like most people. Maybe they don't have all these connections. Your projection into the world is going to have that Scorpio flavor, obviously, because that's what everyone sees. That's what people meet at first glance. That is how you present yourself. That is the energy you're giving off. So they really have no choice but to believe what you give them, right? If I came to you and I was very loud and aggressive and I was fidgety and I couldn't sit down, by the time I walk away, you're going to have a couple of words to describe who you just met. And I don't know what those words are going to be. But the energy that you give off at first meeting is going to be scorpionic. Now, if you have Mars in the first house, let's talk about what Mars does. So first of all, Scorpio has two rulers. Mars is our original ruler. Pluto was discovered in, 1930, right? So we have two rulers. We have the Mars energy. Mars is the most aggressive planet. We know that. It is the planet of war. Mars is the planet in your chart that depicts how you fight for yourself, how you fight for others, how you go about getting what you want, okay? What is your sexual appetite, your sexual energy? So Mars is not just one thing. So when you guys start thinking about all these planets, you start pulling them out of thin air saying, what happens with this? You got to think about all the things that it stands for. And listen, if I was doing a chart and I saw Mars in that first house, I would say, well, wait. If I saw Mars and Scorpio in the first house, I would say, well, let me see what Mars is doing here, first of all. Like, what is she doing there? She's just there, like, causing chaos? Probably not. But let's say she was there with a square to Pluto, okay? Let's say she was in the first house squaring Pluto. That's a lot of intense energy coming out, okay? And whoever you meet is going to catch that. They're going to catch it. Mars is a very dominating energy. So if you think about Mars and Scorpio, how would this person fight for themselves? How would they fight for others? How would they go about, if they're a man, how would they go about that masculine energy of getting a woman or getting who they want? And when you start thinking about these things in layers, then you're like, oh, I get it. So if you pull out the Scorpio qualities, right? And you think about, like, okay, why have Mars on the forefront where everybody can see it? Mars in Scorpio is not like a Mars in Aries. So Mars in Scorpio doesn't fight for itself by attacking loudly, right? Because Scorpio is a introverted water fixed sign, right? Mars would go about things in a more shrewd way, okay? A more underground way, a more behind the scenes way, a more of a little bit of a vengeful way. This is the Mars in Scorpio behavior, okay? So if somebody met somebody, even if you didn't have a Scorpio rising, if you have a Mars in Scorpio right on the ascendant in the forefront, you have more of an assertive personality, but it's not in a loud way. Like people can just tell that if they cross you, there's going to be a problem. Okay? You know what I'm saying? So it's not a very blatantly violent type of energy. It's a quieter aggression. Okay? So Mars and Scorpio energy is a little bit more shrewd. Okay? It doesn't release and just like a fire sign, and then it's over and then they're good. You know? It's very slow coming. And then it's like boom, right? And so I would say that would be a person who's assertive at getting what they want. Right off the bat, assertive at getting what they want to get. When they see it, they're going to get it. Doesn't matter how long it takes. Okay? I would say they work a little bit behind the scenes. If a Mars and Scorpio person was attracted to somebody, they're not just going to run over there and be like, I want you. But no. They're going to kind of strategize. They see the target. They're on it. And they're going to make sure nobody else goes near it. See, this is the behavior. You got to think about Mars as in how you're fighting for what you want. How do you go about getting that? Now, I have a Mars in Cancer, which is a weak Mars because it's in its fall. Okay? Mars is exalted in Capricorn, falls in Cancer. But I have a Mars square Pluto, opposite my ascendant. So now you're dealing with something else. Now you're dealing with different energy. When you have Mars and Pluto, which are my life rulers of Scorpio, squaring each other, that spells danger. It spells danger. Period. And so people know not to F with me. So when you think about like me, and somebody's like, oh, you have a Mars in Cancer, you're probably just whiny, and you're probably, vengeful and passive aggressive. And I'm like, yeah, probably. Oh, but wait, we square Pluto. So now we can add some more stuff onto that. How you like that? You can add all that together. And so guys, astrology is a little more deeper than you think. A lot of you think you can just come up with these things and put them together and be like, yeah, this is what it means. And you got to really kind of separate things. You got to do it kind of inch by inch. And then it's kind of like art. I'm an artist. I've always been an artist, especially as a writer. When I write, I don't write in a straight line. Sometimes I start from the end. Sometimes I pull from the middle. Sometimes I pull this way. But after, 3-4 months, I start placing things where they need to be. The story becomes a whole entire collective. Okay? And that's how astrology is. You can't just pull some out and be like, oh, I have Mars and Scorpio and a rising, I'm this. It's like, wait, we haven't heard the rest of the story yet. What is it doing here? Who's it connected to? What other energy do you have moving back and forth to the house? What if you have absolutely nothing connected to that Mars? What if it's, just unaspected? Then we got somebody who's could be dangerous because now it has no other connectors. It's just on the loose, honey. Okay? And so you got to figure that out, right? You got to figure out what is going to and from your ascendant. Do you have energy? Because it does matter. My ascendant is not just my ascendant. My ascendant has an opposition to Mars. People are going to see that. People are going to feel that when they talk to me, when they deal with me. They're going to see it right away. I had a 2-second conversation with them, I swear. and they were like, you have a very bad temper. And this was a very spiritual person, obviously. They were like a medium. But they said that within 2 seconds. And I said, you know what? I have it under control. I said, because I tell you what, I haven't been to prison yet. I said, and that says a lot about me. They was like, it's very bad. And I said, I haven't been to prison yet. And that says a lot. I said, because people could have died. And I could say that to that person because they got it. Like, I wouldn't just say that to anybody who said you have a bad temper. I would have probably not responded if somebody else said it. But this person was a spiritual medium. And so they already knew. But, you know, I was like, well, I'll tell you what. I have a high level of control because there's nobody dead yet and I haven't been to jail yet. And those are two really important things to know about me. So anyway, guys, I want you to think about this when you think about any planet. Somebody who's like, oh, what if I have Pluto in the first house? What? Pluto in what? What is it doing there? What is the connectors? That'll tell you everything. Not every Pluto, on the ascendant is created equal. Some people have Pluto and Mars conjunct in Scorpio on the ascendant. And how's that different than the person who just has Pluto sitting over there? There's a big difference. There's a big difference. Just like there's a big difference between Scorpio moons. We're not all the same, honey. Okay? So when you think about astrology, I hope you guys want to take your practice. You're on this channel because you want to learn about Scorpios or you care about astrology. Like, take it to the next level. Stop sitting around being lazy and just going on Google for things. You don't know who wrote that crap on Google. How do you believe these people? You don't know where they studied or anything. It's just there. You're like, oh, this is what it means. Like, no. It takes years and years and years, okay? So that's all I have for you. Like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. I'll see you at ScorpioSunScorpioMoon.com. You can get a full master chart reading while I break all this stuff down for you. You can buy all my audio and paperback books on the site or in your favorite store. You can just ask for Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon collections. You can get a one-on-one with me. I'm open to forensic charts. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'll be on Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon Podcast soon, talking about the Tupac Shakur murder that happened back in 1996. And that's it. I'll see you soon. Mwah.